God, it is so freaking creepy here. I am here to respectfully interact with you. I'm sorry for what happened to you all those years ago. Oh my God. Good evening, Appalachia, and all who inhabit it. Appalachia is considered one of the most haunted regions in the entire world. Every square inch of these haunted hollers seems to have some sort of ravenous creature of legend that will rip off your butt cheeks and beat you to death with them, or some type of spirit left over from some horrific tragedy. As a born and raised native of Appalachia myself, I want to see if all this is a bunch of hoopla or not. So this is the first episode in a new series where I will visit and investigate some of the most haunted locations here in these Appalachian mountains. Staggered, of course, throughout my usual cryptid hunts. And I reckon the best place to start is the infamous Corpsewood Manor in the Appalachian Mountains of North Georgia. Now, I know what you're about to type with those nasty-ass Cheeto dust-ridden fingers of yours. Mr. Appalachia, ain't you been there twice already? Yes, I have, but the first time I really only just camped, and the second time it was my very first paranormal video. I didn't have a lot of equipment, and I think it kind of sucked. I'm not very proud of that video. Plus, a lot of you new critters have not seen those videos, so we're going to do it again. And to go back, we have to understand the place and the spirits that we're dealing with. This story is pretty wild, critters, so let's rewind the clock back to the 1980s. This is Dr. Charles Scudder and Joseph Odom. Scudder was a professor of pharmacology and experimental therapeutics and was the associate director of the Institute for Mind, Drugs, and Behavior, where he conducted experiments using, well, happy fun time substances. Scudder was an eccentric man. The feller had dyed his hair purple and kept a pet monkey in his lab. Now, Scudder swung the way of homosexuality and had an acute yet hidden interest in the occult, and was a verified member of the Church of Satan, specifically the Levian sect, which adhered to a policy of worldly pleasure above all else. He decorated his own personal home with depictions of pentagrams and the demon prince Baphomet, a demonic figurehead for esoteric and hidden knowledge. Joseph Odom, in contrast, was kind of just a normal dude who had flunked out of school and at some point in his life became Dr. Scudder's housekeeper and chef. They eventually became friends and then later lovers. At this point in their life, they lived in the concrete jungle of Ohio, bless their hearts, which they had grown tired of due to persecution for their homosexuality and because, well, living in a city just kind of sucks. So they decided to move to Summerville, Georgia, a rural and mountainous region, quiet and isolated. Heading down south as a gay couple in the 1980s was an interesting choice. But hey, go crazy, dog. It was there in Summerville where the pair hand-built a large brick manor using Scudder's personal fortune. They furnished this manor with Renaissance furniture, stained glass windows depicting the aforementioned Baphomet, books on the occult, the human skulls that Scudder brought along with him back from his doctor days. They bought 2 big black Rottweilers, and to top it all off, on the top of their entrance, they had installed a big pink gargoyle. They named this demonic fortress in the woods Corpsewood Manor, as the woods they settled down in was filled with these dead, decrepit pines and vine-choked birches. As you can imagine, this drew in a lot of attention in the southern 80s. 2 gay Satanists living together in a manor was probably batshit crazy to folks back then. Hell, it'd be pretty side-goggling in today's time. And this story only gets crazier from here. A feller named Kenneth Brock wandered onto their property while he was hunting for deer. Now, Scudder and Odom was often described as very friendly and inviting, and thus invited Brock into their home. Inside, he drank muscadine wine with them and smoked that good kush. At some point in the evening, Scudder even, how do I say this? Yeah, there's no way to say this in a way that you two will like. Scudder gave Brock a blowjob. No idea how it escalated to that point, but it had it according to Brock's testimony. And Brock would come back multiple times to Corpsewood Manor for more blowjobs. Due to what Brock saw in the manor during his stay, he believed that Scudder and Odom were just rich as creases and kept some type of hidden riches or treasure somewhere in their manor. So he got together with a buddy named Tony West and went back to Corpsewood with Tony, armed with his mother's .22 rifle. Dr. Scudder invited them in just like he always did, with open arms. And once inside, Brock held Scudder up with the gun before tying him up and gagging him. As for Odom, well, West took him back into another room and shot him and their 2 dogs. When it was revealed that Scudder in fact did not have any hidden riches, he too was shot and killed. As you can see, Corpsewood Manor has some crazy lore, crazy dark lore specifically, and it's no wonder many folks consider it to be the most haunted ruin in the entire United Southern States. And it indeed is a ruin, as it's been burned down multiple times throughout its abandonment. Some say that Scudder and Odom still live at Corpsewood Manor, trapped in the ruin due to the intense trauma, sadness, and anger they felt at the time of their demise, although others say a much darker, inhuman entity is what really still resides there at Corpsewood Manor. A demon, possibly even Baphomet himself. Either way, I'm heading up to Corpsewood Manor to see if I can catch any sort of paranormal activity on camera. Now, y'all are gonna have to cut me some slack. My specialty here on the Boob Tube is hunting cryptids. I honestly don't have too much experience investigating ghosts, but I'm gonna give it my best shot. So, let's get to it, critters. Howdy, critters. We are here. This is the little trail you guys start going down to get to the Corpsewood Manor. We are here in the very dead looking woods and mountains of northern Georgia. I guess this is why they call it the stick season, huh? It may not be much to look at, but it makes for a spooky atmosphere, so we got that going for me. The sun's about to go down. I want to see if I can set up my camp before the sun goes down. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, but alright, I love you. If I die, don't come back for me. We are officially stranded here in the North Georgia mountains. Oh, look. Leave nothing but footsteps, take nothing but pictures, and the good old-fashioned pentagram that's not actually a pentagram. Awesome start. Yeah, I'll be damned if this trail does not look inviting. You can really tell why they decided to call this place Corpsewood Manor. I mean, all these trees that surround these woods and these mountains, they're all dead. Even during the summer, of course it's very lush, but there's all these dead woods around here. I don't know if it's because of an illness, it's because of all the different forest fires that have hit this place, or what the hell? Look, critters, we're already off to a great start. We got shoes. One there, one there. That's a little ominous. I don't know why some goober would come out here and just to leave their shoes. Maybe it's to mark a trail or something. I don't know. Seems kind of silly to me. But I absolutely love the site. Corpsewood Manor is considered one of the most haunted places in the entire southern United States. But despite that, very few people know about it, and even fewer have actually done investigations here. Now, I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of paranormal investigators will only, you know, they're city folks, so they won't go that too far into the woods to do stuff like this. So this spot hasn't seen a whole lot of love from the paranormal community. And every time I come here, more and more of this place is just dilapidated and collapsed. So that's another reason why I want to visit this place so much. One day, it just ain't gonna be here no more. And that will be a sad, sad day indeed. This is an ominous looking forest. I don't know if you can see it really well through the trees, but it's a full moon. We might have werewolves tonight. But in actuality, there are 3 different spirits that we may be able to communicate with here at this place. Yeah, we're almost there. We are here. Look at that. I love these briars right here. They just love to cut you up and turn you into a fucking spinchel. Oh my god, it is so freaking creepy here. Alright, critters and creatures, welcome to the infamous, the haunted, the Corpsewood Manor, or what's left of it. Yeah, we'll look at this place in more detail. I really want to get my hammock set up in my camp. The pack's kind of heavy, yo. Yeah, that way it's completely collapsed and built up by sticks and shit. Let's try this way. God, I'm just waiting for something to pop out and rip my face off. Yeah, you can really see why they call this place Corpsewood Manor. Man, it makes you wonder, maybe if there is a demon haunting this forest and these ruins, maybe that's what's causing all the fauna and flora decay. Something dark out here just making everything die and dilapidate real quickly. Huh, you know what? I was gonna set up a hammock in like hammock camp, but you know what, this little thing right here, if I can find a way to put my sleeping pad on it or insulate it in some way, this is perfect. It's not really supposed to rain tonight, so I don't think I gotta worry about that, but I can sleep right here. I have a fire pit right there to keep me warm. This is kind of perfect. Yeah, this will do. This will work. All right, yeah, this is gonna be home for the night. I got a nice little fire pit. I'm gonna make a fire later. once we get done with the initial investigation in the main area. We got a nice little, very comfy bed of bricks. My poor back. I'm gonna wake up stiff as a board, dude. Stiff as a dead granny. You know, these woods, God, they're so creepy at night. Even during the day, they're creepy, but they're even creepier at night. This is why I like outdoor paranormal investigation. I feel like it's a lot creepier than, you know, just being in a haunted room. All right, let me do a scan with the thermal camera. I want to make sure there's no, like, large animals around me that are going to be making noise. If there are, I want to know where they are. I don't want to be surprised by nothing. Yeah, here's the general entrance. I'm gonna go this way in because I would have to crawl through all there, but we're gonna explore the location, then we're gonna start the investigation. God, I hear noises all around me of there's a whole lot of active wildlife around me, but it all sounds pretty small. I think it's just a bunch of rabbits, squirrels, stuff like that. Nothing dangerous or nothing, but you can't be too careful. I think I'm going to keep it on this night filter. I kind of like it a lot more than the others. This right here, this is one of the many pillars that kind of supported the building and also act as a sort of room. So there's a pillar right here, a pillar right there, and where we were over yonder, I'll show you real quick. This right here is the entrance where I have my camp set up, just past there. This was the top of it. And right here on the very top was a giant pink gargoyle. But ever since this place burned down the first time, I think that was the last of the gargoyle. It didn't survive long after that. And I think this place burned down 2 other times since it was abandoned. Which is honestly just a real shame, because if you've ever seen pictures of this place back in its heyday, it was an absolutely gorgeous brick and mortar manor. And regardless of all the freaky shit that went down here, both paranormal and recreational, I mean, you gotta admit, a manor out here made of bricks in the middle of the Appalachian Mountains is pretty damn cool. But I reckon this place doesn't even have more than 10 years left in its lifespan. I mean, look at it. It's extremely dilapidated. You got fallen trees on everything. I'll show you right here. This tree didn't used to be here. This fell within the last year. Same with that tree right there. That pillar was intact and whole, but that tree fell down there sometime within the last year and collapsed this part even more so. So even less of this place can be seen and enjoyed by us explorers and paranormal investigators. I mean, every year this place just gets more dilapidated, and I hate to see it. But enough yapping. Let's detail some of the different buildings or the pillars that are left, and then we'll start the investigation. Here's one of the main pillars. Worth 3 hours. I only had to drive 45 minutes to get here, so not too bad for me. Which is kind of one of the reasons why I can do this exploration so much. This place just ain't that far from me. Kind of looks like your mother. BGBED something or other. I've been seeing these around here the last couple of years, and I still have no idea what they mean. I'm guessing they may have just been a couple that explored here and wanted to leave their mark on the world. Thud. Thud. No shit. We got a weird ass, creepy ass cross right here. We got this right here used to be the roof, this little tin material. But as you can see, this tree that's hanging ominously above my head collapsed the roof when it landed. And I guess I should just be lucky that it hasn't collapsed the entire building. Because there's also a second tree laying on top of this. I probably shouldn't be standing under here. This right here, this is gonna final destination my ass. This right here is, I guess, part of the plumbing. That's the only explanation I can get from it. God, it looks so creepy out here. I love how creepy it looks at this place. It's perfect. Here's another pillar room. Yeah, there's that tin material that we saw in the other one. There's a bunch of bricks in here. I don't think these are original to the room. I think that when people were trying to clean this place up a little bit, they just tossed all the bricks from that in here. Nothing interesting, just a whole bunch of bricky bricks. Oh look, these have nails pointed down at me. There's another good final destination area. I want to turn my head into a sponge. I bet this place is awful for like spiders and snakes during the summer. We got a mound of rubble right here. All what I'm stepping on right now has been completely covered up by like foliage and leaves, but this is all brick. This is part of the wall right here that collapsed. You can see that it attaches and connects to that wall right there. This was one of the rooms, but you know, it's just completely collapsed and there ain't nothing left. This place really puts the corpse into Corpsewood. It's not just the forest that's a corpse, and it's not just the two fellers who died here that are the corpses. It's the actual ruin itself. I mean, it's dead and it's decaying day after day, year after year. And soon there ain't gonna be nothing left but foundations. What we got here? Is this a Modelo? It's a Miller High Life. I would have done a Coors Banquet myself, but that's just me. God, I keep waiting for me to see like glowing eyes staring at me from up there, or like a silhouette. I hope not. Hello? Mr. Demon Man, are you in here? Hello? That's really all there is to see of this place. I've said it a million times, this place is damn near gone. So, we're going to start the investigation. I want to start trying to communicate with Scudder and Odom first. We'll see if we can get any type of interaction with them, if they even still haunt this place. And then we'll try to talk to that other potential darker inhuman spirit that may be haunting these woods and these ruins. Now, the last two times I came here, I haven't really caught any type of, concrete paranormal activity on camera. But that's the thing, a lot of times, especially if you go looking for the paranormal, a lot of times paranormal will just not happen to you. Supernatural, spooky stuff usually happens to people who are just, they're not looking for it. They're just going about their day. Maybe they're in the wrong place in the wrong time. There's a potential that we catch Jack Diddley out here. I have a couple tools that may help us interact with any type of spirit or entity that may live in this forest and haunt these ruins or whatever it is. Earlier you saw me use my night vision goggles. They have different settings for different night filters. The problem is when they're up close to something, the IR light that we can't see but the camera can see, it kind of lights everything up and makes it too bright to see when I'm like really up close to something. But later I'm going to go completely lights out and just walk around with the night vision as I'm trying to communicate with the spirits. Maybe the lack of light will entice them to come out and say hello to me. And my third and final camera, aside from the GoPro that you're watching this on, this is what's called as a phasm camera. So basically it can see the full spectrum of colors and different visions that humans cannot see. And paranormal investigators claim that they can use this
to see maybe spirit orbs or apparitions, because, you know, some of them say that these spirits can move in light frequencies that our eyes just can't pick up, and that's why, you know, spirits are usually invisible to us. Now, I don't necessarily completely believe that, but it's still going to be an interesting tool to see if I can catch any type of physical evidence of a spirit. And I also have the Phasm light. This is just a light that shoots IR and ultraviolet, so I can see if anything has touched anything, you know. Next up, I have 2 different EMF readers. People believe that spirits, cryptids, anything paranormal gives off strong electromagnetism. And that's what these do. These things pick up on electromagnetism. Now, the problem is you can get a lot of false positives with these because everything puts out electromagnetism. Anything from heat sources, sometimes even trees. See, like right there. See, that's interacting with my camera. Because my camera, my thermal camera, puts off electromagnetism. Your phone can put off electromagnetism, so I still believe these are a good tool. The problem is you just have to make sure they're not near other electronics, or you'll get a false positive. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to walk around and see if I can catch any particular pockets of spiritual energy, and I'm going to leave one on the ground and try to get a spirit or entity to interact with it. And if they do interact with it, it'll start lighting up. And last but not least, your standard issue spirit box. A spirit box is basically a radio that can shift through a bunch of different channels all at once. And what people believe is that spirits can interact with the radio as it's flipping through all those different channels and pick out certain radio stations to form words, sentences, or just, you know, communicate in general. Kind of like how Bumblebee communicates in the Transformers movies. Now, again, you can get a lot of false positives. Not every clear message you get on a spirit box is going to be, you know, from a spirit. But it's still an interesting tool to try to connect with anything. All these are just tools that I'm, you know, testing out and seeing if they can actually, you know, connect me to a spirit, let me interact with one. I mean, you'd think so with the horrible history of this place. Spirits really congregate in places where there's been a lot of tragedy and, you know, danger and trauma. And if there's ever a place that fits that bill, it's here in Corpsewood Manor. So now, I mentioned this in the intro of this video. I'm normally a cryptid hunter. I'm not real well experienced in the non-corporeal. So if I'm a little bad at this, be kind to me, you know, cut me a little slack. I'm trying, you know. My name is Luke. I am here in your home, your manor, the place you lived all those years before it was taken from you. If you, Dr. Scudder, or his lover Odom, still reside here in these mountains, in these woods, or in these ruins, I am giving you permission and asking you to communicate with me in any sort of way. I have various tools to communicate with you. I am here to respectfully interact with you. I'm sorry for what happened to you all those years ago. Having your lover, your pets, and your lives taken from you prematurely by selfish, greedy thieves. I can't imagine what it would be like to lose my dogs or my wife. But I do know it must have made you angry. It must have been traumatizing, and it must have been heartbreaking. And I would love to be able to tell your story here tonight on this cool winter night. If you would please interact with me in any way, be it physically or through the equipment I have today. Knock, touch me, or touch this device to let me know that you live here, that you still remain, and these hollers and in these mountains. I would like to ask you some questions so I can get to know you better, you and your situation. If whatever I ask you, you would like to say yes, do so by interacting with this device that I have here. Is Dr. Scudder or Odom with me today? Can you say hi to me? Were you robbed and killed by a man who is trying to steal your alleged riches, your money, your livelihood? I may remind you of the hillbillies that killed you, that bemoaned you and shut you out all those times. I probably said awful things about you, but I am not them. Do not feel afraid to interact with me. I am a friend. Please do something to let me know that you are here. Let me know that I'm not just talking to air, that I'm not just making a fool of myself out here in the woods. Give me a sign. Ah, fucking. You hear that? Oh. Was that you, Odom and Scudder? Oh, Lord. I'm out here literally chasing ghosts. Now, let me get this just in case this bullshit happens again. Now, my question is, what could have made that sound? Now, there have been squirrels and mice and shit running all around these woods since I got here. What I think happened, I think one of them may have been up here. Maybe they dropped down onto the stone, or they knocked something off into the stone. I don't think that was anything paranormal, but maybe it was. Who knows? Maybe it was. Let's get back in here and continue. Was that you, fellers? Was that your way of trying to communicate with me today? You know, if you are trying to say hello to me, you don't gotta throw shit. You can just, say hello. Touch this device. Well, I did say the knock stuff and whatever, so I guess they're just fulfilling my wishes if that was a spirit. I'm not entirely convinced on that front, though. Odom and Scudder, if that was you, either touch this device or knock on the wall again, or throw something again, or just knock on the wall like this. Odom, Mr. Scudder, say hello to me. I'm getting lonely out here, y'all. I will say, out there you can hear all those animal noises, all them rattling and rustling, but in here, because of, I guess, the shape, it's very quiet. Very eerie. Aside from that sound, there's been nothing out of the ordinary around here. What I'm beginning to suspect is that 1, this place ain't haunted. 2, it could not be the 2 lovers that haunt this place. It may be that darker entity that could be here instead. But again, I'm going to continue trying to talk to Scudder and Odom. I don't want to interact with the darker entity yet. I'm not entirely convinced on the prospect of ghosts. I believe in some cryptids. That's why I prefer doing cryptid hunts. But what I do believe in are demons. As a Christian myself and a believer, I do believe that there are evil, malevolent, unhuman forces out there who want to do us harm. All right, let's head out yonder and try something different. Well, we got a little bit of a bleep right here. Does it get stronger or... Oh. Yeah, I'm definitely picking up some electromagnetism. Whether it's from a paranormal source or not, I just can't tell, but it's definitely coming from in here. You know, oh, and we just lost it. It's in here. Scudder, Odom, is that you? Whatever electromagnetic reading I had is gone. Go down here. You know, maybe if you're trying to lead me somewhere, fellers, you gotta use a bit more stronger electromagnetism than that. That was a pitiful reading. Huh. There's something walking around out there. What about in here? Is this better for you? Is this a more cozy spot for you to want to communicate with me? Come on, fellers, give me a sign. Don't make me break out the spirit box. That thing's very staticky and annoying. I don't think you want to hear that for the next... Oh, look. It's a spider. Hello, Mr. Spider. Woo, 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 woo. All right, fellers. You want to talk to me in here? Is Dr. Scudder and Joseph Odom haunting these ruins today? Hello? There's that blipping right there. See that? And that wasn't from my camera. Just look, when I put my camera right up against here, there's nothing. That wasn't from my camera. I was picking up something. I doubt it was spiritual though. And if it is spiritual, it's weak. Maybe, you know, maybe that's a theory. Maybe as this place dilapidates more and more, Joseph and Odom's spirit gets weaker and weaker and less able to communicate, huh? What you think, critters? Is that possible? Odom. Scudder. Come on, buddy. Say something to me. Give me a sign you're here. Knock on this wood. Knock on this brick. Touch my equipment. Touch me. Okay, maybe don't touch me. I don't want to be diddled. Please don't diddle me. Hear that? Those dogs. There's that damn scurrying again. But back on the dogs. Remember earlier I said that some folks say that they'll hear like phantom barks from their dead Rottweilers. What I think may be happening when they hear that, back down that way, like a couple miles, there is a house, and they have dogs. We drove past them. Maybe, I I bet people who came out here were just freaked out and they think that they're hearing devil dogs or something. Well, there's not a dog. That's an owl of some sort. Look at that full moon. All right, maybe, just maybe, Dr. Scudder and Joseph Odom, you don't live here no more. Your spirits have weakened and you've dissipated, or you never really haunted this place at all. Or maybe you're being held captive here by something much darker. Is there a dark force out here? Is there a creature that is not man, that is of the fallen, that haunts these ruins and these woods? Whatever you are, I'm calling you out. I ain't scared of you. So if you want to come out and say something, do something to me, do it now. I am unafraid. It's time to nut up or shut up, son. Come on, do something. Don't make me have to break out that spirit box just to communicate with you. Alright, we're back at the campsite. At the previous gargoyle site. Let's take a look in here. I haven't actually really taken a good look at this part. I'm going to have to do some hillbilly parkour right here. Oh Lord. Okay. Whew, I'm getting older, y'all. I say that even though I'm only 27. No, 26. God, I can't even remember my name. I suck. We got here. Someone had a Slim Jim. Oh my God. Oh no. It's a dead mouse. At least I think he's dead. Yeah, he's dead. Yeah, I mean, I get it makes sense he's dead. He's not sleeping there under the freaking water. Look at the poor little guy. He drowned. I really hope someone didn't come out here, put this bucket here, and then just drop them in there so he'll die and drown. That would be awful. What kind of psychopath would do that? Look at that cool wall. Oh yeah. Oh man. I'm sorry, Mr. Mousy. That's an awful way to go. I think that if I'm going to communicate with any type of demon or whatever may be out here, this is a good place as any. And as I do this part of the investigation, it's going to be completely dark. I'm going to turn off all the lights except for the night vision camera. You know, let it get real spooky. All right, let's do it. Is Joseph Scudder, is Dr. Scudder, or Joseph Odom, or something darker and more evil here with me today? Make your presence known. I'm tired of dicking about out here. I want to know exactly who it is that I'm talking to. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Twice I think this thing just said that it was a demon. All right, let's assume that you are a demon. Do you have a name? Or are you just demon? Are you Baphomet, the demon prince, that these people depicted on their stained glass windows? Well, we got some interesting stimuli and data. I'm almost certain I heard it say demon 2 or 3 times when I asked what it was. Now, of course, just because I heard something that says like demon, that doesn't mean that's guaranteed a demon is trying to communicate with me. Like I said, false positives. I've heard some like rustling from mouse. There's that loud sound over yonder, and there's the spirit box saying the word demon. But so far, I'm not creeped out in the slightest. This is just, it's honestly kind of just a peaceful night. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to start gathering firewood. And I'm going to make me a little fire tonight because I want to be nice and toasty. Alright, now this ain't going to be a really big fire at all. I mean, I don't have anything that I need to cook with at all. So that's not something I'm really concerned about. I get a fire going, you know, get a good atmosphere before I try to start going to sleep out here. This right here, what I'm making, is called a triad fire. Basically, you build a triangle of sticks, and it lets a nice chimney shoot of air, pocket of oxygen shoot up right here, and it really ignites the fire really well. If you start with a TP fire like most people do, a lot of times it can smother the fire too quickly, because a fire needs oxygen to survive. Go figure. Thingy. That should be good for the initial triad. For my fire starter, I'm going to use this wax wood bundle. You can get this at like Ace Hardware or Farmer Supply, or basically any outdoor store as well. All it is a bunch of wood shavings covered in wax or turpentine or something like that. Something very flammable. So you just stick it down in there. Oh, hold on. Take your fire starter. This is a ferro rod. And then try to catch the shavings with a good spark. And it should light up real good. You just got to get it. Oh, oh. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. See, in these woods, all these trees around here, a lot of them are pine trees, and that's real good, because from pine trees you can get fat wood. That's what this is. Fat wood is when a pine tree dies, all the sap and resin dips down into the branches and into the trunk of the tree, and it kind of solidifies and soaks it. And basically this kind of turpentine-like substance. In fact, that's where you get turpentine from those oils from the trees. But you can break off branches off of these pine trees, especially on the lower branches where all this pine resin has soaked into, and you can smell it. Like, it'll literally smell like a bottle of turpentine. I mean, with fat wood, you can start a fire even without the little bundle of wood I used. I mean, it's an incredible material. It's a great natural material for starting fires. I love fat wood. Let's go ahead and put this piece in here. Get this even hotter, huh? Oh, that's nice. It's not even really cold out here, you know? It's just, it's nice. It's a nice atmosphere. It's like my my ooga booga brain just wants a fire. I just gotta make sure the heat doesn't get too bad and melt my my synthetic sleeping bag right here. That, critters, is what we call suboptimal. I'm about to go to sleep, Mr. Demon. Gonna go nighty-night. Is there anything you want to say to me? This is your last chance. Come on, do you have a name? Are you just sick of talking to me at this point? Is Joseph or Odin Scudder here at all? Being held hostage by this demon? sorry, y'all. I can't listen to that for too long, or I start going crazy. I need to get in all the lists if I'm gonna do more of these more ghost hunts rather than cryptid hunts. I've been out here since 6 o'clock. It is currently 12 o'clock, and the plan is for me to leave here early in the morning because we got some stuff to do at the bank and other errands back in town. So I need to go to bed. I've been out here way too long. I'm sorry if this hasn't been the most entertaining or spooky video in the world, but like I said, I'm more used to hunting cryptids. You know, ghosts just ain't my forte. Even though I have the equipment, I don't have a lot of the experience. But I hope you still enjoyed the video. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this camera rolling as long as this camera has battery, and see if I can catch anything happening to me in my sleep. But if nothing happens, I'll just leave it out.
And we're back, critters. That was interesting. Nothing really happened throughout the night from what I've shown you, so I just didn't bother filming it. Plus my camera died. Yeah, so here's my verdict. I do not believe that Corpsewood Manor is haunted by Scudder or Odom. I'm still not even convinced in the existence of spirits in general. But I do believe in demons, and although when I was trying to ask questions from the couple, from the humans, I got diddly. I got no responses, no answers, no nothing. But when I started trying to talk to a demon, I immediately got response, including the word demon at least 3 times on the spirit box, and there is that weird noise I heard. I don't even know if that was I still don't know if that was an animal or if it was the demon, but whatever is there, if something is there, it definitely ain't human. But hey, that's just what I think. You can come to your own conclusions. Like I said, I'm not very real experienced in this ghost hunting stuff. I'm more of a cryptid hunter. Speaking of which, if you want to see a hillbilly search abandoned ghost towns in the dark hollers of Appalachia, hunting for monsters, critters, and ghosts, hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to my first 100,000 subscribers. And please like and comment on this video. Doing so tells YouTube to push it out more into the algorithm. With all this being said, y'all have a good day.